Good morning, and thank you for joining us at Seymour United Methodist Church for a children's story. This morning, our story follows Pastor Paul's sermon about mercy. Mercy means that we, when someone is hurting, that we show compassion towards them. A lot of times, people can be hurting by someone who maybe has an authority over them, and that makes the mercy all the more powerful. But the Bible story that we're going to talk about has to deal with Joseph and his brothers. It comes from Genesis 45, 1 through 5. Joseph could no longer control himself in front of all of his attendants, so he declared, "Everyone leave now." So no one stayed with him when he revealed his identity to his brothers. He wept so loudly that the Egyptians in Pharaoh's household heard him. Joseph said to his brothers, "I'm Joseph. Is my father really still alive?" His brothers couldn't respond because they were terrified before him. Joseph said to his brothers, "Come closer to me," and they moved closer. He said, "I'm your brother Joseph, the one you sold to Egypt. Now don't be upset and don't be angry with yourselves that you sold me here. Actually, God sent me before you to save lives." In the very beginning of Joseph's story, if you remember, Joseph's dad gave him a very special coat. It was the coat of many colors. It was a gorgeous coat, and Joseph loved that coat, probably because it was really pretty, and more than that, because it was a special gift from his dad. Well, Joseph's brothers didn't like that too much, and it seemed that Dad always favored Joseph. Maybe Joseph didn't get punished as much, or maybe Joseph got better meals at dinner time, or maybe Joseph was just given more things. But the Bible tells us that his brothers were very jealous. They wanted to be more like Joseph and to have more of their father's love. Well, the brothers plotted to kill Joseph. And remember, they threw him deep into a pit and then decided not to kill him, but rather they sold him to some slaves. Well, fast forward many, many years, and God put Joseph there for a very special time. Joseph could tell what dreams meant. And because he had that gift that God had given to him, he used it to move up in the chain in Pharaoh's court. And he was very high and powerful. Well, Joseph was smart, and he listened to what God told him. And because he did that, he put back a lot of food. Now, we have never experienced in this country what a famine is, but a famine means that there is no food. There is no food to eat at all, and people were starting to go hungry, and that included Joseph's brothers. They were so hungry. And his dad, Jacob, said, "Well, why don't you brothers go over to this faraway land? I've heard that they have food saved up, and maybe they will show mercy to us and will give us enough food to eat." So that's what the brothers did. They went into the country, and they did not know that the man they talked to was Joseph. Joseph immediately knew his brothers. He knew who they were. But he didn't say, "Hey, you brothers, you sold me to these awful men and I spent years in jail." Or, "Do you know what you did when you sold me? Do you know how I felt?" He didn't say any of that. He kept quiet. And he gave the brothers instructions to go back and check with their dad. And when the brothers came back, Joseph decided it was time to tell them who he was. Now just think for a minute. Here is Joseph. I don't know myself if I had been through all that Joseph had been through. And get your mom and dad to read you the whole story sometimes. It's really a really, really good story. But Joseph had went through lots of ups and downs in his life. And I don't know that I would have been as kind as Joseph, but Joseph loved his brothers. And everyone left, and Joseph told them who he was. Can you imagine how scared those brothers were? They were probably looking for the exit. How can we get out of here? Because they probably thought Joseph would kill them. He had been through so much. But Joseph said, "Don't be afraid. Don't be sad because what you did. God sent me here to save people, and I've worked hard. And because I've worked hard and I've been smart and I've saved food, now I can share food with you. And that's what he did. He gave his brothers who had been so mean to him, he showed mercy toward them, and he gave them food so that they could live. You know, God showed us mercy. Jesus showed us mercy. Jesus paid a very, very big price for us to be able to go to heaven with him someday. He gave his only son, Jesus, to come and die on the cross. And that is showing a lot of mercy. So we need to, in our everyday life, just get in the habit of being kind to people. You know, you never know what kind of day somebody's had. Maybe your friend's sad and you don't really know it, but maybe they're kind of hiding it deep down, and you can be nice, or you can say a nice word, or maybe you can invite them over for a play date when we get through all of this stay by yourself stuff. But there's lots of ways to show people that we love and care, and ways that we can show mercy to people. I have a verse for you, and it is from Colossians 3:13. Put up with each other and forgive anyone who does you wrong, just as Christ has forgiven you. Jesus takes delight, the Bible says, when we forgive others of things they've done against us. Jesus always forgives us. He never comes and says, well, no, wait a minute. You were here 10 minutes ago and you did this exact same thing. He never does that. He always forgives us, and it's forgotten. And we need to get in the habit of living that same spirit every day, forgiving others when they need it, and showing that big word, but really it has a simple meaning of mercy. I hope you enjoyed our story. I hope you'll come back next week and see us. Have a wonderful week. If you're starting school, we hope that you have a wonderful week. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon.